once again, thanks for tuning in. You're listening to World Combat Sports. What's good? Salute to everyone that's out here on this Friday, enjoying your weekend. You know what it is. It's another one. Shout out to the WCS supporters, and that's all that's important. You know what I'm saying? WCS supporters, the only ones that's important, and of course, the other ones that choose to tune in. You know what I'm saying? It's welcome. You know what I'm saying? It's totally welcome. I appreciate you. Everyone who's dropping through on the live chat, everyone who fucks with the channel. You know what it is. We're gonna kick this off and start cooking on the grill for this weekend. The topic at hand, once again, you're already reading it. You know what I'm saying? You're already reading it, flashing across the screen. You're already reading it on the thumbnail. I thought I made myself perfectly clear when I was spending time on this topic before. I could have sworn I already made this clear. I'm gonna wait till some people come into the live chat. You know what I'm saying? Because YouTube don't send out the notifications like this. Some people know you're going live, some people don't. I'm just gonna give it a little bit more time, man. You know what I'm saying? Before I kick this off, I'm gonna let this shit fill up a little bit more. You feel me? I'm gonna let this fill up just a little bit more before I have to re-explain myself to some individuals. You know what I'm saying? It's funny how YouTube work in a sense where it's almost like the seasons. You know, shit come and go like a breeze come, you know, this and that. Then it might return and come again with a little bit, precipitation to it. And then it might breeze back through again. The temperature might be different. Then it might come back, breeze again. The air might be dry, but it's the same shit. All it is weather. Motherfuckers coming here talking the same shit as if something's different. Just because they change the temperature or they come in here with different names, you know, different motherfuckers that wasn't here the first time, or they try to add some type of damn debris to it. You know, motherfuckers be throwing dust up in the damn air and shit, trying to make it seem like it's more important, it's more severe than what it is. Y'all motherfuckers coming back around here talking about lightweight undisputed. Y'all won't let this shit die. Y'all still up here crying and whining, bitching and complaining about a fighter who went out there and fought the better opposition, and you're still not satisfied with what the results are, right? You still want to talk your way into making a fight for undisputed. You know what I'm saying? People up here talking about it's a 4-belt era. How many times have we heard this shit? It's a 4-belt era. You know, hey, last time I checked, you know, individuals do have 4 belts. You know, then they switch it up on you. Well, I'm not talking about that 4 belts. I'm talking about 4 belts of this belt right here. You know, this belt, what means? Listen, like I said before, it's a 4-belt era, right? Teofimo Lopez has 4 belts, correct? He has 4 belts. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4, 3, 2, 1. I mean, how many belts are we looking at for you to understand? Like, really, I want everybody just to exhale, inhale, exhale. Okay. Oosa. I want everybody to just relax a little bit. Vision this, a chalkboard, right? A chalkboard with no chalk. Okay, I just want you to vision this shit. I want you to take your fingernails, all 4 of your fingers. You can leave the thumb off of it. Just take your 4 fingers and just run that bitch up and down that chalkboard. That's what it should feel like for the individuals to keep on returning to the same subject as if you can't count. 4 belts is 4 belts. They're slowly but surely changing shit over. Why? It's a bit agitating to hear people continue to talk about one division, all because they're trying to talk up a fighter who still needs to build his resume, and Devin Haney. He still needs to build his resume, period. There's no way, I don't care how many people, I don't care what you look like, black, brown, or whatever. There's no way that you can continue to get out here and say the same shit that you're gonna talk the fight into existence. It don't matter who gets on here and agree. It can be Lopez Sr., it can be Bill Haney. It doesn't make a difference. They've been on several panels and agreed to anything and everything about this fight. But when it comes down to it, what really matters is the ink to paper. The ink to paper is truly what matters, man. It doesn't matter. Anything else doesn't matter. You know, we got people still crying about the same shit. It's not gonna fucking matter. You had one fighter who did it the right way, and you had one fighter who did it a way. The one who did it the right way is in the position with all the belts, and the one who did it a way, he did it a way. It didn't leave no room for option. He did it a way. And we see the results from that. I remember when this topic first hit the headlines, people was like, well, you can't sit up here and deny he a world champion. You can't sit up here and deny he don't hold the belt. Okay, you're right. You can't deny that he has a belt. You cannot deny that shit. But also, we can't deny that Teofimo Lopez has the better resume, took the harder route, defeated the tougher competition, and he has more than 4 belts. I just put uno, dos, tres, cuatro in there because he has 4 belts. We're not even talking about that ring. That motherfucker's so prestigious. We're just leaving that shit alone. We're talking about the primary 4 belts. You know, it's not up to me to understand is the fact that I don't hear anyone talking about Juan Francisco Estrada. The WBC elevates this man, upgrades, however you choose. They elevate, upgrades, whatever word you choose to increase his position, to make the Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez. They will have the trilogy. Boxing shows you if they want to make changes, they can make changes. One Francisco Estrada, who's on the pound for pound list near the back end, just came out of a controversial win against Roman Gonzalez, aka Chocolatito. Now that he's been elevated to franchise, what did I tell you all earlier? I said it's only a matter of time before the franchise belt is in multiple divisions. I told you all that. I expressed that. I did. I expressed this shit. I was calm when I said it. I'm calm now, even though I'm reiterating shit that I've already said. Here's another division that has a franchise belt. A lighter division at that. Here's another division that has the franchise belt, y'all. Juan Francisco Estrada has been elevated to the franchise champion. Super flyweight Juan Francisco Estrada has been elevated to the franchise champion of the super flyweight division. No one is talking about it. No one is up here advocating for Sanganai. I don't hear people advocating for Sanganai. Where's all the motherfucking whiners and naysayers? Why aren't you goddamn whining for Sanganai? Sor Rungvisai. Sor Rungvisai. Sor Rungvisai. Any advocates out there for Rungvisai? Rungvisai. Any advocates? He used to be the champ. Any advocates that want to speak up and say, oh shit, that's fucked up because Rungvisai, he's supposed to have been the next in line. He's supposed to have been the next in line for this motherfucking WBC shot. He's the mandatory. And he's going to enforce his mandatory. Nope. The The WBC comes in once again and they upgrade. Juan Francisco Estrada leaves once again, leaves Soy Rungfasai in the distance to make another fight that's gonna sell much more. And Rungfasai, they want him to fight Roman Gonzalez. But back to the topic at hand. I'm gonna wait till some people that's advocating for Soy Rungfasai to get that title shot. All right, with Juan Francisco Estrada. I just want to see how many comments people are going to put on here and vouch for that. While I wait for that to happen, I want to repeat what's going on. Aaron Jones in the building. Now, once again, we have a visitor. They say if Lopez is undisputed, why he don't have mandatories? Devin Haney has mandatories. Once again, we have a person who obviously have not paid close attention to the WBA nor the WBC. You know what I'm saying? Primarily the one title that openly enhances or encourages a freaking mandatory. You know what I'm saying? The IBF has been pretty thorough with that. But is the WBA like that in a sense? Are you knocking on the WBA's door, talking about mandatories? Are we really talking about mandatories if Mauricio Suleiman didn't say we was leaving tradition and we was moving towards evolution? Did I not just tell you that in the super flyweight division, they just upgraded Juan Francisco Estrada? Are you down there knocking on the super flyweight door, crying, blowing snot bubbles, wiping your motherfucking nose on your shirt, saying, Soy Rungfasai, Soy Rungfasai, Soy Rungfasai, please, please. He should be the rightful next contestant to step in the ring for a fight with Juan Francisco Estrada, not Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez. We still have people up here at the lightweight division whining and crying about the undisputed title holder. You still crying in 2021? You still bitching and complaining because your favorite fighter is not with all the belts? How you going to talk your way into a lightweight fight? I don't care how many social media, this YTC shit is not going to make a fight. The YTC provides information through dialogue of multiple voices and entities. Some are real, some are super duper fake, but it's still a social media platform where people can speak on it, but it does not in no way, shape, or form influence the fluidity of a boxing match. It's not like contractual papers are placed on live and you see fighters up here streaming. I mean, you see fighters up here signing papers. We haven't. Just take a look at the situation that happened. Even from the Gary Russell situation, that term sheet deal, a fight never came from that. Or Samuelson, $50,000 check. That shit didn't happen. Nothing came from it. Nothing came from it. And then we can go back and forth over and beyond. And then we have the same voices that'll get on here and ask the same dumbass questions. They want to sit up here and advocate for a single belt, which Mauricio Suleiman has said that the franchise belt holder, which I said ain't going nowhere. The franchise belt isn't disappearing. It's not evaporating into thin air. Why waste your breath worrying about who ain't what and why? They just made another franchise in the super flyweight division. Are you standing down there on your knees praying that Juan Francisco Estrada fights Soy Rungfasai? Are you down there advocating for him? If the WBC say T.O. is undisputed, that's what it is. He say it's open, but Bill and Devin tells the fans everything they want to hear. Andrew Charles in the building. Salute. Aaron Jones in the building. What's good? Estrada being made franchise is news to me. Estrada is upgraded to franchise there, Andrew. He is elevated the franchise. King Mitch in the building. Salute, bro. Oh, Andrew, how dare you say you're going to do a search as if I'm just putting. I will help you out, Andrew. You know, it's all respect, my bro. You know, it's all respect. I would do one better for you. You know what I'm saying? I will share this screen for you. Here it goes right here. You know? The WBC has received the requests, which are WBC Super Flyweight World Champion Juan Francisco Estrada has requested to be designated franchise boxer. He has put in a petition like everybody else. Let's go back up. Juan Francisco Estrada made franchise champion, fights Chocolatito next. Rung Fasai battles Quadras. Another petition was submitted, and the WBC says, once again, we do what the fuck we want. The franchise belt isn't going anywhere. Individuals just need to use the primary part, the mid part of their brain housing group and catalog this information. All you have to do is accept the fact that the franchise belt is in more division than 135. You know what I'm saying? It's in multiple divisions now. It's not just in a single division of 135. It's in multiple divisions. This is not the end. I told you all months ago that this franchise belt will sooner or later be in multiple divisions. Here we go. An important fight where Juan Francisco Estrada won a controversial decision against Roman Gonzalez. And then what they do? The mandatory is supposed to be Sor Rungfasad, right? Now the WBC comes up here and say, hey, a petition came in. However that shit came in. However it came in. The petition was submitted and it was approved. And Juan Estrada has been elevated to franchise champion in super flyweight division. Why are we still up here talking about Teofimo Lopez and Devin Haney? He does. I agree, Mitch. He said, whatever dude's name is, Sor Rung Fasai, he does deserve to fight Estrada. Look, if boxing was what they deserve there, Mitch, then we would have much more thorough and sport. You know, it would have more integrity to the sport. But unfortunately, deserve means absolutely little. It means minimal when it comes to the sport. Deserve is a non-existent word. It means absolutely nothing in the sport of boxing. It's too much talking going on in the sport of boxing. Suleiman got to stop the bullshit. He's the president. He is the president of the WBC. This is not the end, but my main focus point is now a different shipment of individuals have came in at the port. They finally came in on their canoes, you know, paddling the whole way with their hands. Hey man, you paddle. Let's get in cadence. Left, right, left, right. I see land. Hurry up. We got to hurry up and get the land and see if we have Wi-Fi access. We got to jump back on this freaking YouTube and start advocating that Teofimo Lopez is not the franchise champion and he should fight Devin Haney. These motherfuckers have blisters on their hands. They've been paddling and shit, trying to get to shore and log in just so they can sit up here and say that The same shit we talked about months ago. That Teofimo Lopez, he don't have all the real belts. The franchise belt is a real belt. How many times do I have to say it? Let's say I'm okay with the Chocolatito rematch. Other than that, homeboy should get his shot. He should. Now, who am I? All I'm asking is, where are the advocates? Where are the life coaches, the therapists, all these individuals that's up here crying about the lightweight division that Teofimo Lopez isn't undisputed? Where are all those guys to drop down and take the elevator to damn super flyweight and knock on Rung Fasai's door and say, Rung Fasai, Rung Fasai, we're here to help you, Rung Fasai. We're here to help you. We understand that they created a franchise for this division, but we're here to help you get your rematch. Rung Fasai, Rung Fasai. You get the picture. Where are all the motherfucking candlelight holders? You know what I'm saying? The ones that continue to stay around in the lightweight division. Where's all these individuals at the end of the day? I just want to know. Why are we having a new wave of people that's talking about this topic as if the shit is new and refreshing, and we never even mentioned this before on the channels? I know I have. I'm just wondering why the tears have came back again. Why the fuck are y'all up here crying about undisputed? He's undisputed. Get over it. He's already been placed on the magazine as fighter of the year. Facts. Does he not have the Ring magazine? Facts. Facts. Let me show you something right now. Because some people are visual thinkers. Let me show you something. Because sometimes, motherfuckers are visual thinkers. You have to show pictures and shit. You know what I'm saying? Some people you have to show pictures to. Hold up. Let me get something up here right quick. Where is it? Hold on. Because I really don't understand how difficult it is to understand, the entire process that deals with Teofimo Lopez being undisputed. There's no way, no shape or form that you get on here over and over again and say the same shit like it's going to change anything. It don't matter how many times Bill Haney and anyone else comes on here and say they agree to the fight. They have agreed on the fight 33 times already, and nothing has been signed. It is hilarious. It is hilarious that you would put that shit up on a thumbnail. No one believes it. No one believes that shit. I'm pretty sure, Lopez's father is going to stick to his guns and, say, we're going to fight who we want to fight. We're going to take the big money fight. Now, I'm not sitting up here saying that Devin Haney don't deserve anything. I'm not saying that because he's a professional boxer. I'm not saying he don't deserve anything. If he can get the fight, get the fight. What I am saying is, when it comes down to who did it better and when, we already know the answer to that. I said it over and over again. We already know the answer to who did it better. Who was able to get to the promised land in the most direct, efficient manner? Who was able to do it in the most efficient manner possible, where all the monetary gifts and rewards are at? Who was able to do it? Just take a look at this picture right here. To some, you may look at this picture and you say to yourself, damn, I'm a bit, I'm a bit irritated. This is his promo with Triller. That's Teofimo Lopez promo with Triller. And I know some viewers are dropping off because I posted this picture. Yeah, you should. Just take a look at that picture. I want you to see that picture right there. Just take a real good look at the special effects, the smoke, and all that shit. Just take a look at that shit. Just take a gander. Just pan your eyes left, right, right. If you have to move your head to help it out, all I want to do is put a stop to people up here just wasting their oxygen. Motherfucking vaccines are being given, COVID. You got to be careful going out here just wasting your oxygen for nothing. This man is doing a promo tour for his fight with Triller that's coming up. And look at the belt he has strung over his shoulder. Fuck everything else you heard. Look at the title that he has over his right shoulder. If you're looking at this the way I am, it would be your left. Just take a gander. Somebody help me understand. Somebody help me understand. I'm at my favorite number 3. I'm at my favorite number. I'm good. Somebody help me understand. To all the ones that has, all the Devin Haney supporters, they have the big, the large jawbones, with no hinge on it. They keep saying the same shit. The link is in there. Let's go fishing. The link is there. I just want you to help me understand why or how the picture is what it is. Period. Because now we have shit popping up and people up here whining and crying about a belt that we already know that Devin Haney has. We already know he's the WBC world champ. We already know that. We already know. We also understand that Mauricio, not Teofimo Lopez, Mauricio is the one that's revising this belt structure in his sanctioning body. Once again, Mauricio Suleiman is the one that is revising the belt structure in his sanctioning body, which is the World Boxing Council, the WBC. So my point is, why sit up here and discuss a situation as who Teofimo should fight when you weren't saying who Devin Haney should fight? You're not up here saying who Devin Haney should fight. And regardless of who you think he should fight, it's absolutely up to Teofimo Lopez, who has all the belts, to approve. I know it's been a lot going on where people want, certain individuals to make the fight, to force the fight. Get Bob Arum to force the fight. Get this person to force the fight. Get Mauricio Suleiman to force the fight. Listen, it's just certain things that individuals that's not in that particular position, they lack control of. And when you lack controlling authority over certain positions, to sit up here and mandate certain changes that the general public may deem fit to accommodate those who will continue to whine and blow snot bubbles, it's always going to be disappointment. It's going to be fucking disappointment. Y'all want to downplay Nakatani, but from my understanding, Nakatani may be facing Vasil Lomachenko next. How is that? Then you turn around, Richard Comey is a world champion holding a belt, but you want to downplay how he picked up the belt. So if we're gonna go there, you already know what WCS is going with it. I'm not gonna go there. I'm not gonna light this shit up. If you want to talk about how Richard Comey got the belt, we sure enough gonna talk about how Devin Haney got the belt. So we're gonna leave that alone. Moving on to how Teofimo became undisputed world champion is the fact that he fought the top 2 pound for pound guy in the sport of boxing, which ultimately placed him on the top pound for pound list. Titles are great, has always been measuring sticks, so to speak. However, I just want the fights. Belts are crowding the airspace. Haney versus Teal is a great fight. No one ever said it wasn't a great fight. I never said it wasn't a great fight. I'm just saying the same individuals who acting like it's it's mandatory. They want to act like it's a mandatory outside of the mandatory he doesn't have. They trying to make it seem like it's a mandatory because they say it isn't a mandatory. It is just banter, sidebar conversation. That's all this shit is. You just wasting oxygen saying the same shit all the time when the man went out here and performed and fought 3 hard fights. 2 in 2019 and 1 in 2020. And people acting like, well, let's implement affirmative action. You see that you have a fighter in Devin Haney who holds the WBC title. We want to insert our affirmative mandatory. Is any way action can be taken? Would I like to see the fight? Of course I would. But when it comes down to the whiners that are still saying the same thing, I have to ask myself, did they not listen to what I had to say earlier? Probably not. Probably not. But I'm here to regurgitate it once more. There's only one undisputed champion at lightweight division right now. You're looking at him. I know a lot of people come in here, they click in through the window and then they'll go. They click in through the window and then they'll go. This is Friday night. I want to give you some fun facts. All right. I just dislike when belts are used as leverage to not make the fights that are great. In any case, I'm not with it. I want the great fights. I understand how boxing is, so I'm not tripping. So check this out, Mitch. Like, check what you said, which makes sense, right? Check this out. I want the great fights. I understand how boxing is, so I'm not tripping. So you understand that with the franchise belt, that certain individuals may elude the normal standard of what it would be if the WBC did not have a franchise title. It would be mandatories. It would be mandatories. But you said, I understand how boxing is. So right now, boxing is what? In the WBC sanctioned body, they are creating space. They're creating a gap. That gap is a non-requirement for mandatory. That is the gap space that has been created by Mauricio Suleiman. It wasn't created by Tio. He wasn't even the first to get a franchise belt. We had Canelo requested when there wasn't one. Then we had Vasil Lomachenko. We had Teofimo Lopez. And then we have one Francisco Estrada. Do you not understand how this shit is blossoming? This shit is blossoming right now. But did you hear me the last time I was on here about how I broke down the situation with Devin Haney and the franchise belt? Do you want me to do it again? Because people act like they didn't hear it. They want to act like it's no truth to that, of what I said about this franchise shit when it comes to Devin Haney. Because I can once again explain to you how the shit that you're talking about is irrelevant. Because a lot of people that's advocating for Devin Haney to fight Teofimo Lopez is anti-franchise belt, right? Anti-franchise belt advocates. They are totally against the franchise belt, which ain't going nowhere, right? So let me read some more of these comments, and I'm gonna tell it to you one more time, right? Teofimo Tank will mostly likely fight the beginning of the next year or the end of this year. Aaron Jones, I definitely, if you wanted me to hold both fights, right? You know, a pair of fights in both hands. I only have two, right? The doctor removed the one that was, anyway. We have Teofimo Devin Haney and we have Teofimo Javante Davis. Of course, people are going to flock to Javante Davis if he's still a free man, and they're gonna say, "Well, he present the biggest threat." You know what I'm saying? Javante present the biggest threat to Teofimo, and Teofimo present the biggest threat to Javante. Why? Because there's a key word involved in this. It's called power. Both of these fighters have that underlining word power attached to their skill set. As in the pairing of Teofimo Devin Haney, it may be a technical boxing match where certain people might have a replay, a mental reflection of Teofimo Lopez and Vasil Lomachenko. This might be the case. So in boxing, individuals are very finicky type of plate holders, right? They it's shit that they want, but they're unwilling to commit to it. They say, "Damn, I like this dessert over here, but I like this one better. Man, I want to get this over here, but I think I enjoy this one better." So you got to make the decision. And a lot of boxing fans are going to say, "You know what? I want to see the sweet science, but I want to see some power too. I want to see a motherfucking knockout potential." So we put the cherry on top, put the whipped cream. I want Teofimo Lopez and Javante Davis. That's what a lot of people are going to say because it involves power between both fighters. I seriously doubt Tank and Teo fighting this year. Teo will move up soon. They ain't fighting this year, not from my understanding. I haven't heard anything. You know what I'm saying? Naz, what's good? Salute. True and D, always keeping it. Love your channel. Keep up the good work. Appreciate you for tuning in. Martinez. Aaron said Devin apologized for that black belt. I mean, as you were. Devin apologized for that belt back. So many people forgot about that. Devin apologized for that belt back. So many people forgot about that. Elaborate just a little bit more. I'm not understanding. It's not registering right now. Just get at me. Just let me know what you're talking about there, Aaron. I'm not understanding. Shit ain't mandatory until the sanctioning body says it. But even that doesn't matter nowadays. And that's all I'm trying to say, bro. Stop playing. I'm not talking to you, Mitch. I'm talking about the ones who keep on acting like what you just said don't make any sense. If they want a certain two fighters to fight, they'll fight. But right now, it's not the fact that, Devin Haney has the belt. It's the fact that if he was important, even Mauricio Suleiman would make the fight. But we all seen Mauricio Suleiman said that Vasil Lomachenko wasn't going to fight the remainder of the year after he defeated Luke Campbell. He once again said he's not fighting the remainder of the year. He canceled all that shit out. So when I hear people talk about, oh, the mandatory was there. Mauricio said it. We don't have to pull up the receipt. I do have it. He said he's not fighting the rest of the year. So it doesn't matter if Haney fought Abdullayev. They was just fighting for an interim title and not an eliminator. Since they did not fight for an eliminator, the winner does not get a shot at the creme de la creme, the top of the heap, the title, because it was just for an interim title. We already know this. Haney just needs to get in the ring and start putting in work and try to build his name up. I totally agree, man. To be honest, Teo knocked Devin out. I'm sorry. Got Devin out. To be honest, Teo knocks Devin out. I'm sorry. I got Devin out boxing him at the first, but he gets knocked out. When I look at the fight, I look at I look at the matchup as being some parts in between that fight, from the first part to the middle part of the fight. I do believe it's going to be very technical. It's going to require both fighters to implement their ring IQ. And then in between the ring IQ, they're going to have to kind of do some shit outside their comfort zone, because it's a big fight. It has so much history of people on YTC talking the same shit all the time. If the fight does happen, the fighters are not going to be able to follow standard protocol. It's not, I don't even believe that fight is going to be the same way that Vasyl Lomachenko and Teofimo Lopez started out. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe that. But I can tell you this, that it's going to be an individual by the name of Teofimo Lopez that is definitely going to try to test the chin of Devin Haney in the first part of that fight. If you think for 1 second that a boxer is going to come in there and just keep distance and pop, 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 like we goddamn popping popcorn for a movie, and it's just going to be a boxing clinic, that shit ain't happening. You think, oh, well, this is what we're going to do. We just going to put away rounds 1 through 5. We're going to box and do the same shit Vasyl Lomachenko did, but we're just going to stay active. We're going to stay out of trouble and just stay active. We're going to put the jab out there. You know what I'm saying? We're going to double up on the jab. And then, we're going to land the 2. We're going to do 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2. We're just going to keep it safe. It's not going to happen that way. It's not going to happen. Don't go for no uppercuts, no hooks to the body. None of that shit. Just keep the jab. Keep the stick out there. We're going to outbox him. If it was that easy, everybody would get outboxed if they know what they was doing, because it's boxing, right? But Teofimo Lopez is going to be much more polished heading into this fight. He has Gambosis, not to overlook that. But I think at the end of the day, if the fight does happen, people are putting too many visuals together, and they have Floyd Mayweather in the equation. You need to stop putting Floyd Mayweather in the equation, because Devin Haney isn't Floyd Mayweather. We need to understand that shit. Stop doing that man like that. Let Devin Haney be Devin Haney. Let Teofimo Lopez be Teofimo, like he says. He is Teofimo Lopez. Teofimo Lopez. And I totally agree with what you said, Andrew. He just needs to he needs to enhance his competition. He needs to pick better opposition. Why is there not more opposition? Why couldn't anyone do more for Ryan Garcia to face Devin Haney? Why? Why couldn't they do more, with the Javier Fortuna situation? Why couldn't something be done for freaking, Ryan Garcia to face Devin Haney? That shit just flew out the window. Ain't nobody talking about that. I don't see people knocking on motherfucking Ryan Garcia's damn bedroom window. Ryan, excuse me. I know it's late. I just want to ask you a question. It's going to be quick and short. Why aren't you fighting Devin Haney? Aren't you the mandatory? Now that we have a legitimate mandatory in place, I don't hear motherfuckers up here whining about Ryan Garcia refusing to fight, refusing to put himself in a position to say, you know what? I want to activate my mandatory status and fight Devin Haney. I don't see people up here crying about Ryan Garcia. But since it's Devin Haney to Teofimo Lopez, now they want to whine and cry about the same shit all the time. He has 1 belt. Ryan Garcia has 1 belt. Isn't he the interim? Why isn't nobody up here advocating, lighting torches and shit, and singing Kumbaya for Ryan Garcia to face Devin Haney? Big dog, what's good? I disagree. He said Haney outclasses Teal. That is your opinion. Okay, when you talk about outclassing, we're talking about the elite level. We're talking about three fighters that have different styles. And not one time he was outclassed. He fought the fighter that everybody said that had a better class than any other fighter in the lightweight division. He was more technically sound. He was more fluent. He was more experienced. He was a double gold medalist. He went out there and defeated Vasyl Lomachenko. I'll be careful to use outclass, because in that case, Vasyl Lomachenko should have did the same thing. It should have been much more easier and simpler for him to go out here and put in work in the first 7 rounds. That's what I said. I was saying you can't pop shot all night. Devin is going to have to stop and fight at one point. He is, man. You know what? You're going to have people up there believing that, keep them off the weights and just work on speed. Keep them off the weights and just work on speed. Okay, if boxing was that simple, just to work on speed and keep them off the weights, because you don't want to take away or subtract from the speed, because speed is something you rely on when you don't have, in this particular case scenario, when you have mediocre power, then guess what? It comes to a point where you're looking at, like, we don't want to put on muscle in this particular case, because we want to keep the flash. We want to keep the movement alive. We want him to have good cardio. They may feel that his body isn't, built for the bulk. With Teofimo Lopez, he gives you, that bit of muscle, not too much, but that bit of muscle. But yet he still, keeps that power. He keeps that decent amount of speed with him. And it's going to come down to who has better, it's going to come down to attrition, who's more durable. And really, there's not too much of a separation, because like Aaron said, it's going to have to come down to a point where you have to remember what the judges are looking for. So if you want to pop, and move around and work time off the clock, the judges might not look at those jabs that you putting out there as doing any damage, to the point where Teofimo catch you on the ropes and he lands some shots to the body, because we all know the boxers go to the body, to slow them motherfucking wheels down. And then every time you stop, boom, it's 12 rounds. Stick, move. You're going to have to then worry about parking sometime or another and taking some punishment. You're not going to be able to stick and move for 12 rounds. No matter how many times people say, he's the next Floyd Mayweather. It wasn't even that. Look, it wasn't even that easy for Floyd Mayweather to do that shit. It wasn't. It wasn't as easy as people think. We're talking about Floyd Mayweather, one of the most defensive genius in the sport of boxing. He couldn't even do it for 12 rounds. He had to stop and goddamn let his hands fly. He had to stop and commit. The Mayweather defense, he had to stop and take some punishment. What about when Oscar De La Hoya was throwing all those punches? He felt that, hey, I may not land everything, but at least I'm touching those arms. I'm getting them tired. That's what Oscar De La Hoya thought. I may not, land some flush hooks to the rib cage, but at least I'm touching his arms. I'm making them tired. I'm punishing them. It's crazy that niggas hate Floyd Mayweather but want Devin to be the next Floyd. They don't know what they want there. Aaron, I totally agree 100% with that. That makes all the sense in the world. Cats was sitting up here wanting Floyd Mayweather to lose, but they want Devin to be his Floyd. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying be Devin. Just be you. Whatever you blossom into in your career is yours and yours alone. You don't want to get up to a third weight class and you have people still comparing you to Floyd and you already been in the sport as long as you have. Fuck all that. You don't want to have to shut motherfuckers down like, hold up. Nigga, you still talking about Floyd Mayweather? You know how long I've been boxing? But when you was down there lightweight and coming up in the sport, I just felt that a lot of people was comparing you. You know how old Floyd is right now. Okay, you know that. Why are you still comparing me to Floyd Mayweather? He's been out of the sport for quite some time. You know, you have to check a motherfucker and waste oxygen. Because they will get these cats up here that still, well, I want to commend you on your performance, first and foremost. I want to know what you graded. You know, I want to know what your grade is, your performance. And also, I don't know, but it's just a bit of your performance remind me of Floyd Mayweather. The motherfuckers is find some way. If you continue to stick with the Floyd Mayweather comparison, when you've been in the sport 10, 15 motherfucking years, strong in the game, I say 10 or 12. You're in your third motherfucking division, and people still trying to compare you to Floyd Mayweather. Boo Robinson in the building. What's good? On behalf of Boo Robinson, welcome from World Combat Sports. I just wanted to stop. I just want individuals to understand, to take a look at the picture, and you can screenshot it. You know what I'm saying? You can screenshot it. It's not my picture. You can screenshot it. It looked like a lot of belts to me. I'm just saying. Let me go back up here to what was said. And it makes a lot of sense. And if everybody understood this, then it would be much more easier for us to move on this boxing shit. Mitch said, shit ain't mandatory until the sanctioning body says it. Once again, shit ain't mandatory until the sanctioning body says it. But even that, pay attention to this, but even that doesn't matter nowadays because Fortuna and Ryan Garcia are probably fighting each other instead of fighting Haney. So pretty much we're going back to Ryan Garcia, who was up here motherfucking capping and saying he wanted Gervonta Davis. But Gervonta Davis, we're going to keep him out. Why aren't you fighting Devin Haney? I just leave that out there for y'all because this right here is strictly for the Teofimo Lopez naysayers and haters that continue to talk about why. It's why. Y'all keep on whining about the same shit. The link already in the chat. As long as you show your face, cool. I'm not putting up with any trolls, bro. You know, I dropped the link. It's no problem. There go the link right there. As long as you show your face, it's cool. I don't have time for the same shit when people come over here whining and bickering. Oh, it's time for me to go over to WCS and say this. I already been here, man. I'm grown. Tell me something I ain't heard about this picture right here. Please. Just explain to me something I haven't heard. That's all I want you to do. I don't want you to tell me any retreaded information about who should do this. Is this the mandatory, not the mandatory? I don't want to hear none of that shit about who has this belt and what era it came from. The president has already said, and he's already made an assertion into the super flyweight division. We already know this belt was originally Canelo Alvarez, the first recipient. Second recipient, Vasil Lomachenko. Third recipient, Teofimo Lopez. Fourth recipient, Juan Francisco Estrada. If you're not gonna come on this panel and tell me something different, that's dealing with this right here, Teofimo Lopez and Devin Haney, I don't know what to tell you. I want to hear something different, something refreshing, something that makes sense to me as to why people continue to whine about the same shit. Talking on YTC is not going to get you a fight between Lopez and Haney. It's not going to do it. It don't matter if their fathers are on the panel or not, agreeing to anything. It's not going to do anything. It's only going to matter when the paperwork come on deck. I freaking stepped away. I put the link in there. I stepped away. I come back. It's just still me. Now I thought for sure it was a pack of them hoes that was about to click the link and come over here and say some dumb shit. It's Friday, man. I was like, damn. I put the link in. I was patient. I waited. I said, okay, let me be patient. Cool. Why say send the link so you can pass it on to other people? Oh, I get it. This is what happened. They want you to drop the link because they want to go send it to certain individuals. I done heard everything possible there is to hear about this particular matter. Everything. I done heard how people try to insert, how the sanctioned bodies, how this is being manipulated, who should have did this, when they should have did it, this, the WBC tournament. Nobody want to hear shit about no failed ass broken down WBC tournament. I want to hear this day forward. I want to hear the resumes. I want to hear someone tell me something different. That Teofimo Lopez, if he was in Devin Haney's position with his resume, would you all consider him even in position as if he wasn't a mandatory? Would you still consider him to fight for the belts? Furthermore, I have something that I explained already. For all the anti-franchise belt messengers, how is he going to be undisputed? How is that the case? They don't want the franchise belt. So, you have to petition for the franchise belt. So if you fight, and let's say you're able, only thing you're going to get, you can't get the franchise belt because it's so many people that's been out here and they've been saying, hey, we don't want the franchise belt. So you're going to have a belt that still places you in a position for people to say you're not truly undisputed because you don't have the franchise belt. You don't have all the belts. Then on the other hand, that means Teofimo Lopez will still be franchise belt holder. I mean, I've said this before. I just put that out there. Like, the Haneys are not going to request for franchise belt because that's just not what they believe in. So if the fight does happen, I shouldn't see a petition for the franchise belt to be transferred to the winner. But bragging rights to a point for both parties is whoever collect all the belts, because franchise belt is a relevant belt. So I would want to be able to petition to get all the belts for bragging rights, put all the belts on the mantle. That goes for every one of them. It goes for each one of them. So I hope it's no pride thing here, because I'm going to tell you like this. I asked Lopez Sr. when he was on here, I said, what will y'all do with that belt if you win? He said, we don't want that belt. He told me that himself. He said, we don't want that belt. That belt means nothing. I asked him, what will they, if they was able to get the belt, what would they do with it? Will they keep it? Because if they keep it, then they're going to have to fight a mandatory. He said, we don't want that belt. We don't need that belt. He didn't even really answer my question on just putting it out there. What will Team Lopez do with that WBC belt? Will you just keep it for a little bit and then vacate it? Then it goes back to being vacant once again. It doesn't go back like, unless they create something else. Mauricio Suleiman creates something else. And you know, if you lost the belt, you're not going to pick up the WBC belt again and go through the same rigmarole. So Team Haney's not going to pick up that belt. They're just going to let it go and probably move on. That would be the smart thing to do. And when it comes to Team Haney, what are you going to do? You're going to petition for the franchise? If you fight, you're going to petition for that shit to be transferable? Or are you going to stick to your square and you're going to say, you know what? I just want the main titles, which we believe in. We don't want the franchise belt. So that's another scenario that we haven't seen. Teofimo Lopez requested and petitioned for the transfer. So if it's no petition for transfer, does Teofimo Lopez keep the franchise belt? I mean, that's a good question for anybody. But right now, I put the link in the chat and I didn't see anybody. But anyway, let me get to the questions, man. Alex in the building, what's good? I just look at it like, you know, they ask for the link to go send it to whoever they want to send it to, you know, as if I'm running, you know, like I don't have no problem, you know, leaving off my panel for anything, you know. I have no issues. But then when people click the link, they run away and laugh and shit. You got some vagina, lip holding, camel toe sucking, you know, type of individuals out here. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if you don't know by now, check this out. It doesn't matter what the rankings identify, you know what I'm saying, as who the WBC depicts as their champion. But it's going to come a place and a time. I'm telling you, the language is changing. You know what I'm saying? The revisions are in place. They're going to start changing the language. It's only a matter of time before they start seeing franchise belts everywhere. You can't sit up here and create a belt and expect it not to be recognized. Now it is inserted into the super flyweight division. What are you going to do now? Nothing. And it's only a matter of time before it's inserted into another division. It might be the super welterweight division next. Seriously, it's not a black fighter that's been awarded or submitted a petition for the franchise belt. The only other one is out here that may be in that position first may be Jermell Charlo. He may be the one. Because I think Jermell Charlo, one or two things. He's going to have pride and say, nah, I'm going to stick to code. I don't want to do that. I got too much pride. Or he's going to say, yeah, give me that motherfucking franchise belt and I can drop this WBC and let them fight for it. Let Erickson Lubin and whoever else want to fight for this WBC belt. I already unified the division. See, Jermell Charlo can do that shit because they're gonna respect it more. They're gonna respect it more. If Jermell Charlo goes up here and unifies the division for Undisputed and then become franchise, it's not gonna matter as much. Because he would have done what Vasyl Lomachenko failed to do. Vasyl Lomachenko failed to pick up the IBF strap. All he needed was the IBF strap. But this motherfucker petitioned the damn franchise belt and lost. But Jermell Charlo, if he's able to go up here and defeat Brian Castano, he can very well petition for the franchise belt and come off that WBC. And ain't nobody going to say shit. And I hope that's what happened so people can start focusing on, well, we appreciate Jermell Charlo. He went on and petitioned for that franchise belt. Yeah, he motherfucking did. He franchised for the motherfucking belt. But people are not going to say anything because he won all the regular titles that we used to seeing that people compare to history. At one point in time, it wasn't 4 belts. So you're going to exclude the ones who still was champions in no division unified if it wasn't a 4-belt structure? No. They considered unified at the time, undisputed. In this case, what are you going to say to Jermell Charlo? He unifies, he requests, petition for the franchise, become franchise, and what that does, that frees up the WBC so he can make the decision and do what the fuck he wants. That's a good move. Remember, I told you. Moss, whether you came over here under a different title or name or a fabricated title, check this out. It's all good, but I'm not gonna read it if it's really some type of rudimentary, like I'm having a dialogue with a child or something. You got to keep that shit adult. You got to keep it boxing. I don't want to hear all the other terminologies and you expect me to respond to shit that's already been out here on social media forever and a day. I done heard every name that the franchise belt could be, that can be said about it. That's not really the point I'm making. My point is Mauricio Suleiman, the president, has already made it perfectly clear on his stance and his changes, the amendments that he's made. That's him. I don't care what you call the belt. The belt has now been implemented into the super flyweight division. It is official. No matter what you say, the belt is official. It's only going to expand that much more as time go along. 2021. Who is the recipient of the franchise belt? 2021. It's March. Who is the first recipient? Juan Francisco Estrada. Who is the first recipient of 2021? Juan Francisco Estrada. Will it possibly be another recipient before the year ends? It's highly possible. The belt cannot be fake if Mauricio Suleiman has made it perfectly clear that the power for a fighter who's in possession of the franchise belt does not, in no time, is mandated to face a mandatory. It relieves them of that mandatory status. It relieves them of that. So the belt can't be fake when it has power. You know what I'm saying? So you can say anything you want, but how can the belt be fake when it has authority? I'm not supporting any belt over anything. I'm telling you that you, just like anything in life, when you go to college, I don't know what level of education. That's being respectful. I don't know your highest level of education, right? But it's just like college. The textbooks are not the same. The textbooks aren't the same. You know what I'm saying? The curriculum isn't the same. If the curriculum was the same, it would be people joining and jumping in college every day with the answers already. The curriculum is not the same. The tests aren't going to be the same. So why we acting like we're in a simulated world where everything is going to remain the same? No, it's change. Boxing is changing. It has to change. The only change that's not happening is to condense the belts, reduce the amount of belts. That's the only thing that's not changing. But there's a lot of other areas of boxing when it comes to the standard that we're used to over a period of time. It's changing. And one of the big topics right now is the franchise belt. The shit is changing, y'all. It doesn't matter how many times you mention Haney's name. Now, I know it's the shit been said when you know the shit has been said several times before. If the belt has no authority in the sanctioned body, just for him to drop it and go and take another direction. It takes a person with a deep commitment to understand what their outcome is going to be and understand that there may be obstacles once they release what they believe to be the power. The only source of power that they have in that division, for them to drop it and take a different route, it takes a truly strong individual to make that decision and understand what they're going to have to do to get to the next, to redirect, to get where they truly want to be. If they can't get the motherfucking shot through the WBC, then you have to divert the route. If you cannot take that route with the WBC title, then more often than none, you have to damn leave it where it lies, and you have to redirect and go somewhere. If you choose, you have time. I mean, if you think you have time to take an alternate route within a different sanctioning body, that may be your recourse of action. Because at the end of the day, you're still going for Teofimo Lopez. He has the belts. If you feel like you want to stay in place and tread water, you know what I'm saying? I mean, how long you plan on doing this and you're not going to catch a current? Like, if just say, for instance, you have that one little area and it's a bit shallow. You know what I'm saying? It's a bit shallow and you just treading water there continuously. You're not worrying about drowning. You know what I'm saying? It's not deep enough for you to drown. It's just the fact that it's just a small amount of water. You're just treading water. And you know, it's the current doesn't even come in there because there's really nothing you can do except be identified that, okay, I see him over there. He ain't going nowhere though. He's not going upstream. He's not going downstream. He's just going to stay right there. But see, the tougher opposition, the tougher fighter that has all the belts, he has to face mandatory. He has to sit up here and make those decisions. He has to pay the sanctioning fees. He's going to get the recognition along with that. This has nothing to do with who's making the amount of money because of co-promotional partner, you know, promotional partners and all that. It's not about the money 100%. It's not totally about the money 100%. Money is a part of the equation, but also it's about the legacy and the belts. And if you're going to come out and say, oh, I'm making just as much as Tail, it's not going to change your motherfucking resume. It's not going to change your box rec just because you're trying to say you're making 3.1 just like Teofimo Lopez is. Okay, cool. Who am I to talk about the money? But I want to make perfectly clear, it's going to come down to the straps. Who has the straps? Yeah, your bank account. So if you just all you content is to have a bank account, which you should, you're a boxer, There's no retirement plan. Make your money. But when you come out here talking to prove it to the fans that it's all about the money, then people are going to start abort mission. They're going to say, well, he don't care about the belts. Why we keep talking about it? He just really care about his paycheck. And it's possible to make that money and be content with making the money, you know what I'm saying, without the belts. But if you really want the prestige along with the paycheck, you got to come out your comfort zone and say, let's go out here and make this decision. It's going to be tough. We're going to feel butt naked for a minute, but I feel it's the right move. I feel it's the right move. People are going to sit up here and question you about it when they don't have shit to do with it. They're going to, you know, and the real hardcore one's going to say, you know what, you made a damn good move. I appreciate that. Because you've been sitting in that position for a long period of time. And, you know, you and Teofimo hasn't come any closer to making that fight in 2021. So I'm glad you chose to do what you did. Hey, we'll see. But I doubt it. I doubt it. You see, I haven't timed you out yet, right? I haven't timed you out yet. But keep on talking stupid. You know, I put you on timeout like a little baby. You asked for the link. You didn't do shit with it. So act like an adult. If you have some boxing response and input, put it in there. Don't nobody else have any other time to be, you know, babysitting. You know what I'm saying? And you need to be happy that the wrenches ain't time your ass out. I haven't even looked over there yet. Let me see what's going on with this shit for a second. They have me time your ass out. Boxing dead. Keep up the BS. You don't stand for nothing. I don't know what you need to basically when you speak and insert characters into text. Once again, when you speak and insert characters into text, you need to ensure within yourself that phonetically you are putting them in order enough for me to be able to comprehend what the fuck you're talking about. When you're typing this shit, I don't think you're really paying attention to what you're saying. Type clearly, press enter, and make sure it's proficient to the entire live chat, not just me, so everybody can read it. Saying the same thing over again, somebody stand for something. Nobody's listening to that. What do you have to say about boxing, though? People hate the true WCS, but they rather to keep filling their minds with lies and BS coming from these biased channels. And when someone like you put them on blast, they don't like it. That's all I'm saying, man. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying, Alex. When it comes down to it, I don't expect everybody. I'm not trying to be right 150%. You know what I'm saying? Every time. But what I'm saying is, when are y'all just going to accept the fact that Mauricio Suleiman is changing? He's changing the WBC standard protocol for which we've been used to and acclimated throughout the years. He's changing it. The first recipient is Juan Francisco Estrada this year. Why isn't more voices speaking on this matter? What's wrong? Y'all don't care? Man, you know, check this out. Let's talk in code. And, you know, we can talk in code with that. You know, I'm grown adult. It's no time to talk in code on anything. I just want to provide clarity and not to retread on the same information. But what I do like about Mauricio Suleiman is the fact that now it's went from the middleweight division to the lightweight division, now to the super flyweight division. He said that it's going to come upon a time where the franchise belt is going to be in every division. or multiple divisions. We're seeing that already. And it's amazing how it comes at an opportune time when we was expecting one Estrada to face Sor Rungvisai next. But boxing comes over here, Mauricio, WBC, and they run ships, they run their ship different. So since they want that rematch for a trilogy, because they believed it was controversial, now they're gonna basically elevate one Francisco Estrada to eliminate him from facing his mandatory Sor Rungvisai, and it places Roman Gonzalez back into the equation. Why y'all not mad at boxing though? You're gonna be mad at boxing for doing some shit like this. This is blatant. They blatantly. You can't blame Rungvisai. You can't put him on the Duck Masters Coalition. He has absolutely nothing to do with this. He's an innocent bystander. He did what the fuck he's supposed to do. Now he's fighting Quadro, right? So put him out the equation. He's somewhat like an innocent bystander who caught a stray, right? He's an innocent bystander. The only one you can place culpability on is Juan Estrada because he petitioned for it. He petitioned to face Roman Gonzalez again because the paycheck is going to be good, and he has the opportunity to do what? Prove to everybody that he's the best. Because a lot of people thought he lost that fight against Roman Gonzalez. So he gets an opportunity to go in for a trilogy. Both fighters have that opportunity. Why are you not mad with boxing? Why are you not knocking on the door and saying, hey, we're here to advocate for Sor Rungvisai? Because it's fucked up the way y'all did him. The man was the mandatory, and now Juan Gonzalez Juan Estrada sits up here and petition for the damn franchise belt, and nobody's even criticizing Estrada for what he did. But they wanna criticize Teofimo Lopez. They want to criticize Vasil Lomachenko. Man, come on, bro. Y'all have to stay consistent on what you're doing. Y'all don't give a fuck about the super flyweight division. That's why you're not even talking about it. You want to keep your eyes focused on the lightweight division for the simple fact you have one name. You have one name that you're trying to talk up for a fight, and it's not going to end the way you think. Sir Kid in the building. What's good? Welcome at Sports Salute. Salute to the wrenches and salute to the chat. Smash the like. Appreciate you there, Sir Ken, in the building always. Thanks for your support, my guy. Keep doing what you do. Boo Robinson say, on behalf of Boo Robinson, I apologize. I had to step away. The link is in the chat for whoever chooses to comment on the topic at hand. Why are we still talking about this? Why are so many people up here still whining and crying about the franchise belt when the belt is relevant? It's here to stay. The belt is becoming sustainable in more divisions than what we're used to seeing. It's 2021, and already out of nowhere, they have this shit playing out of nowhere. The WBC upgrades Juan Estrada to franchise champion. No one's saying. They still talking about Lopez Haney. They're not talking about Canelo Alvarez at middle. They're not talking about any of that shit. They're not talking about Vasil Lomachenko because he ain't the franchise titleist no more. They keep talking about one fight. That's all I'm saying. So what we gonna do about this? We're gonna keep on listening to the same people. Have a panel, a panel full talking about the same shit. Goddamn, come up here, all the rah shit. Ah, nigga, how he got the dang world title? How he don't have the original belt? How he gonna be undisputed? All you gotta do is look at the picture. Look at the picture. Read Mauricio Suleiman's freaking video, the receipt that I put out there, and it will tell you everything you need to know. You don't have you don't need a panel full of motherfuckers because they're gonna say the same thing. You're gonna have people keep on whining and crying because they don't want to read. Read isn't fundamental. It isn't. Motherfuckers can read shit and then they can tell you some 100% opposite of what they just read. Reading isn't fundamental. I don't really want to pull up the receipt. I don't think it's something that needs to happen. But hold on. I guess they out there running them cars on the back road. I'm surprised they able to do it, and it's still early. It's not even 10:30 yet. I hear the motherfuckers running. That's different. Hold up for a second. I'm trying to pull something up. W says this is a conversation we've been had talking about all the possible franchise belts. COVID is under control. Get in the ring, and they will sort itself out. And that's the good thing about it. That's the good thing about it. The regions are opening up, and it's a possibility that we will see a larger capacity. But in my opinion, Ken, it's the fact that we're only gonna allow fights to have more revenue generated from a live gate, and therefore bigger cards can be put on at these regional arenas that was closed down, like the MSG. You know what I'm saying, in the Barclays. It's gonna take them a little bit of time to get back to full capacity, but at the end of the day, when it comes down to matchmaking, will we be able to see some of the bigger fights that was up here talking about money issues and live gates? Will they still be able to make the fight? Because this fight right here between Lopez and Haney, the fantasy fight, really doesn't have anything to do with individuals coming back in with full capacity. It can make them more money, true enough. But could this fight have happened, even before we was absolutely out of the pandemic? You know what I'm saying? Could it have happened? Could it have been planned already for the front door of this career? Possible. Could it have been planned real soon after he faced Gamboa, whatever. He had to face his IBF mandatory. So after that is taking place, we're gonna see how the puzzle pieces fix themselves. We're gonna see what the picture looks like. We're gonna see if Team Lopez allow or grant Team Haney the position to fight, or Lopez is gonna attempt to go up to 140. If that is indeed one of his next moves, go up to 140 and fight up there. Either way it goes, I asked him point blank. I asked Lopez, I asked his father, I said, what will you all do with Haney's belt? I just want to know to kind of figure out this situation because I thought, I assume that Team Haney is not going to request a franchise belt if they do fight. So I say, what will you all do with the WBC belt if you win it? Because then you will have to, face a mandatory if you keep the belt. And he said, we don't want that belt. We don't need that belt. That belt does nothing for me. I mean, for us. We don't need that belt. It's nothing. That belt means nothing. He didn't even say what they would do with it. He just basically ignored it and jettisoned the fact that it won't even be in their collection. The belts that they have right there on this thumbnail is pretty much satisfying. They're content with what you see on this thumbnail. This is his promo tour for his next fight with George Kambosos. It's pretty, huh? That's a pretty pick. I mean, not everybody can say they can take a pick like that and they're in possession of all the belts in the picture. I'm just saying, Shawty. I'm just saying. I'm not mad at boxing because Estrada versus Chocolito 3 is a great fight. I just don't like the bias behind it. Where was this shit when Sean Porter, who was a champ, lost a close fight to Spence? It all depends, man. Very, very solid question. It all depends on if the fight could potentially happen again, because they act like they was trying to move Spence, expeditiously to the next title. So of course, Sean Porter in a rematch wouldn't be the answer. You know what I'm saying? That's not the answer. That would have been another damn extremely tough fight. So if he's trying to go up here for undisputed, of course he's not going to fight Sean Porter. But nothing else has happened since then because of his accident. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what would have happened. Let's just say Errol Spence doesn't have an accident. All right. And Manny Pacquiao's the champion. Would by chance Errol Spence face Manny Pacquiao? Like, would it possible if Errol Spence wouldn't have had his accident and we consider him to be 100% healthy? Would he have then had a faster track to Manny Pacquiao for that WBA title? Because a person who wasn't in an accident or wasn't hindered was Terrence Crawford. He still couldn't get the fight with Manny Pacquiao. But for Errol Spence, he did not get a rematch. I mean, it wasn't no rematch petition. Sean Porter lost a close fight. And like Mitch said, where was all this? Where was all the shock and awe? That's what we call it when we got down rolling up on enemy territory, fragging their ass out while the trigger's back. You know what I'm saying? The shock and awe method. What was the shock and awe in this shit? They wasn't rooting for a rematch, were they? Well, if they was talking about a rematch between Errol Spence and Sean Porter, would we have gotten it? Because it was a very, very good fight. And a rematch would have been great, but yet it would have basically slowed down Errol Spence from potentially facing Manny Pacquiao to pick up a third strap. It all depends. Damn good question, though. I thought Spence clearly won the fight, but a rematch will only do better numbers across the board. I thought Porter was winning the fight up to the knockdown. So, yeah, we're going to have different opinions on that. I did not think Spence was winning the fight. I felt that, the work that Sean Porter was putting in was clearly effective. He was turning Spence at will whenever he felt like it. And, like I said before, I commend Spence for being in the eye of the storm and making sure that he's alert enough to what Porter's trying to do, especially when he comes forward with all that, that extra over the top energy to see through it and pick his opening and land that left hook and get the knockdown in the 11. That's in the heat of battle. Errol Spence was able to see that shit. I commend him for that. Salute. Matchmaking will always leave a sour taste in our mouths. These guys want the big payday with these belts, are going to end up fighting a big name sooner or later. I think that is sooner or later. I would like to say sooner rather than later, but I can't. You know what I'm saying? I can't. We really don't know what's going on with the matchmakers and what their intent is. You know, you won't believe what goes on behind the scene with these matchmakers. I'm being honest with you. Like I wish I can sit up here and say some shit that I hear, but it's an educational process for me. But when these matchmakers plan some of these fights, man, and the reason why they plan it, you would be absolutely bewildered on some of the shit you hear. And you know, a common motherfucking vowel that'll pop in your head sometimes. Why? You ask yourself, why are they planning this fight, this fight, this fight? And then they'll tell you why. They'll tell you why this is happening, why that is happening, and why this needs to happen, and why that's going to happen. But you say, no, we want to see the best, fight the best. Not right now. Not right now. So, all right, cool. Fans should be thanking Estrada for petitioning for the franchise tag. This allows us to see a third fight between Estrada and Chocolito. Sucks for Homeboy, who was a mandatory though. Yeah, so wrong for side man. You know, he's not gonna get his opportunity, nor will he get step aside money because he is no longer the mandatory. Period. So now we have a franchise title that's in a third division. And like I said before, the fourth recipient, I'm talking about division wise, will make sense to be Jermell Charlo because it will free up that WBC belt and, of course, allow someone like a Erickson Lubin and whoever else to fight for it again. I'm not sure how high the ranking system is for Tony Harrison, but I believe Tony Harrison should be able to fight Jermell Charlo for a trilogy. It's a 1-1. These cats are unwilling to fight for a trilogy. But here, you know, we have Roman Gonzalez and Juan Estrada. They about to fight for a trilogy. But yet, when it comes to Jermell Charlo and Tony Harrison, we can't get no trilogy. They don't even think about it or consider a trilogy. We can't even get close to that shit. But they will run up and allow Juan Estrada to petition for the franchise just to make a trilogy. But we can't even get a motherfucking best fight the best type of shit in all the higher divisions. Like we're waiting on 30. You know, we there with 35. We just need to see what's going to be next after his mandatory. But really, no real true rivalries here. Can Teofimo Lopez and Devin Haney become a rivalry that really makes both fighters money? Could they actually have a rivalry? At least have two good matches between one another that does solid numbers but make both fighters good money. Can it potentially happen? Is it possible if Teofimo Lopez told me he can stay at 135 forever? So if that's the case, is it any potential for Lopez Haney to blossom into a rivalry? They may potentially fight twice at 135 and then fight a couple more times when they move up to 140. Is it potential? It might be there. Who knows? They need to get on the ball, though. They need to make that shit happen. Manny was not going to find Bud or Errol for the jump. For real. Manny wasn't trying to go over there. He wasn't, no, Manny. No, Terrence. Oh, I just dropped by, Terrence. I'm not signing a contract. No. Hey, Errol. When you know, hey. No, not signing contract. Nope. Nope. Manny ain't trying to hear none of that shit. Man is trying to take the easiest route possible with the most money. Errol versus Danny was already lined up, though. Maybe Spence is the first to stop Danny if there were no accident. And check this out. Errol Spence. You're trying to tell me Errol Spence defeating Sean Porter. Danny Garcia was already lined up, the same guy who lost to Sean Porter, who Sean Porter then lost that title to Errol Spence. So before the accident and the shit wasn't, didn't happen, the accident's out the question. He was gonna fight Danny Garcia. If that's the case, that's a bunch of bullshit. It makes absolutely no sense at all. Because if he was coming off that fight with Sean Porter, he was just basically, fighting a soft touch, so to speak. Why? Why would you fight Danny Garcia if he already lost to the man you just beat? Fighting a totally different style. Why would he do that? That's why boxing go to hell sometimes. Boxing just go to hell, and it burns like a motherfucker too. Ashes everywhere. You just throw boxing in the motherfucking infirmary. Infirmary, man. That shit just, I swear. Why would Errol Spence face Danny Garcia after Sean Porter when really the more benefiting fights is for him to try to find out how to get that fight by all means necessary with the WBA and try to pick up 3 straps. Keith Thurman already had 2 straps. Okay. Errol Spence has 2 straps now. Why not try to get another strap? Why not try to do what Jamel Charlo is sitting on right now? Danny had been waiting in the ring for another title shot. Danny, his loss to Sean Porter, it wasn't like it's just absolved, evaporated away. It's just gone. He can jump in the ring all he fucking want. He should have been made to wait. They should have sent Danny Garcia somewhere down the food chain to fight another fighter. The knockdown sealed the deal. Spence clearly beat Porter. Great close fights. Yeah, he did. The knockdown sealed it. Absolutely. Porter knew he lost the fight when his glove touched the canvas. Yeah, it only takes, when I see that expression on Porter's face, it's one of those moments that I know Porter in his sleep still tried to damn pull that glove off the canvas before it hit. It's gonna be a dream that he's not rid of for quite some time. I'm serious. Sean Porter, it's gonna be a dream that he is incapable of expunging off his mental thought process for a while. He's just not gonna be able to do anything to erase it. He's gonna be like, damn, in his dream, he's gonna say, fuck. The glove still touched. I mean, he was so close. Like his consciousness started to come through. And he was so close to damn keeping that glove off the canvas. So close, dog. Harrison is a full. Harrison and Harry is a little different. First fight was controversial. Harrison versus Harrison. You mean Harrison versus Charlo? Harrison and Harrison. Fight was controversial, and second fight ended by stoppage. No, it's still a motherfucking rubber match. It's 1-1, bro. It's 1-1. We can't do that without looking back at some of the other trilogies that we had. Like you can look at some of the other trilogies, and it might have been a stoppage in there. And then, you came back. Perfect example. All right, I'm about to hit you with one, Mitch. I know you good on your shit. I'm about to hit you with one though. I'm about to hit you with one. I want you to be good on your shit though. You ready? I'm about to hit you one since you saying that it dealt with a stoppage. I'm about to hit you with one because this is what I do partially because I was told I don't know shit about boxing. I just want to hit you with one right quick. You know what I'm saying? You ready? I'm about to share screen right here. I'm about to hit you with one. Drum roll, please. Deion Washington, the building. What's good? Um, King Mitch said, it's not something that really deserves because, Tony Harrison won the first one and then was knocked out in the second. But you remember this? You remember this? Majority decision. Roy Jones Jr. fought Antonio Tarver. The second fight, TKO lost. TKO lost. Fight a third time. That's what I'm talking about. Trilogies. Okay? Trilogies. Roy Jones won the first majority decision. The second one, he was stopped via TKO. And then you turn around and fought a trilogy to get and consummate all that, relieve all doubt there, Mitch. Thank you. Thank you, Shawty. Thank you. I appreciate it. Hopefully, you see where I'm coming from with this right now. Just like the commercial at the moment, he knew he had fucked up. Moment arrogant ass let his pride deter him from applying a rematch clause. No, let's not insert the word arrogant because Lomachenko had every opportunity to ensure, along with his people, to put a rematch clause in there. If he had that much confidence that he was going to beat Teofimo Lopez, that's a narcissistic individual. Vasil Lomachenko is an absolute narcissistic individual. What's going on, D. Washington? What's good? He say, where's Troy? I ain't no saying, amigo. No saying. No entiendes. No entiendes, amigo. I see I missed the boy, Boo Johnson, in the building. Yo, on behalf of Boo Johnson, he did leave the building. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of people are probably at this particular spot on Friday on here, but I just wanted to make that clear for you, Mitch, that even with the Roy Jones and Antonio Tarver situation, they follow a trilogy. Even with Roy being, stopped, they follow a trilogy, my brother. Yes, they follow a trilogy, bro. They fought a trilogy. Let me remove this. Hey ho, hey ho. Appreciate all the individuals who donate to my Cash App. Appreciate you, Tony Boswell, for your donation, my brother. Thank you. Real talk. Appreciate you. I want to ask y'all a question, real talk, with everything that's been going on with this franchise belt, primarily, at the lightweight division and so forth, right? I just want to ask you this. Teofimo Lopez, he goes in there and defeats George Kambosos, right? I want to ask you a simple question. If Teofimo Lopez does not fight Devin Haney next, does it diminish anything about his legacy at 135? If the man defeats George Kambosos and becomes 17 victories, 0 defeats, does it diminish anything about what he's accomplished at the lightweight division. Sir Ken say, for me, Jamel needs to get a fight real soon. I see him too much time on his hand. Why him and Brian Castano is not fighting? I mean, weren't they somewhat next in line, Brian Castano? Even though I haven't heard too much on it. I'm trying to look up something right quick. Jamal Charlo with that one loss from Tony Harrison, and Tony Harrison gets stopped in the rematch. And certain individuals believe that he doesn't even deserve a trilogy, which is so disrespectful. I know Tony Harrison deserves a motherfucking rematch. So there's nothing scheduled, but guess what? Jamel Charlo has an announcement coming up. Jamel Charlo does have an announcement coming up. Okay? I'm just putting this out here for those of you sitting in the live chat. Jamel Charlo has an announcement coming up. Yes, he does. And I'm pretty sure it's going to be about his next fight. So stay tuned. Stay close. You know, he has an announcement coming up. Real talk. No cap. He has an announcement coming up. Believe that. Alex Herrera say not at all. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate you. Appreciate your input. But we got to come down to an understanding to quiet the whining and bickering, you know, to the YTC nursery. I thought this shit was under control, but it somehow picked back up. It's almost like going to the summertime and these kids been on virtual learning and they find out via email that you will be in school to start the next school year, and all that motherfuckers be acting like they ain't never went in school to learn. These motherfuckers be losing their mind. Oh shit, we gotta go in here. Oh my God. That's what I'm kind of finding out about this damn Teofimo Lopez and Devin Haney situation. You got motherfucking whining picking up again. The link has been out there. No, it does not hurt Teofimo or Devin. The fans are demanding for that fight, but the matchmakers are thinking dollars. True. But if Teofimo Lopez defeats George Kambosos and does not fight Devin Haney next, but he fights someone in the 135 pounds division, I would rather Haney just say, I'm done, I'm over. We'll use the Terrence Crawford one-liner. I don't care about that fight anymore. I mean, Haney did come out and say, I don't need whatever he said. I don't need Teofimo to be great. You know what I'm saying? That's good. He should have that mentality. He should have that mentality. But if Teofimo doesn't fight Devin Haney after George Kambosos, it's gonna look real bad because it's very limited names down there. Let's be honest. We really want to wait till freaking Ryan Garcia is supposed to fight who again? They trying to match him up with Javier Fortuna or something? And the one is supposed to get Devin Haney. What are we doing? What are we doing next? No, it doesn't diminish anything. Tio made a hell of a run to get his belts, and now he's on a whole new level. And like you said, he's making legacy moves now. That's just that's my stamp of understanding that I try to present to the people. They're trying to act like, you know, Teofimo Lopez hasn't changed levels, two levels. I think he changed 2 levels, to be honest. Even though they're in the same division, look at the belts that he's been able to pick up. I think he changed 2 levels. You cannot even out the level just with monetary equity that you're trying to say I make just as equal money as he do. Okay, I get it. I get it. But also in this scenario, it comes down to this. What the fans are looking at on who's the king of the division. People was up here arguing that Teofimo wasn't the king of the division. He is the king of the motherfucking division. He has all the belts. So either you want to be the king of going to your motherfucking bank and cashing a check, or you want to be the king of your bank, go cash a check and have the belts. I think the latter is where both fighters want to be. They want to make money and they want to have the most belts. That's called competing. And I agree with that, Andrew. Smash the like button. Appreciate you. Smack that like button, y'all. Put some likes up in here. Show your appreciation. Show your appreciation. I appreciate you. Eddie Hearn needs to have Haney featured on every zone card. You know what Eddie Hearns need to do also there, Andrew? If you want to feature on every zone card, you have to make sure his opponent is someone with a different name, because you can find an opponent for Devin Haney to fight on the zone card, but is it going to be a worthy name for us to tune in? At this point, is he just running up his record? No. At this point, he's trying to pick up and fight for all those other titles at lightweight. And he's trying to make that bread. So fighting on every zone card, it's not going to happen because his opposition is not on the zone. I'm not saying Teofimo cannot fight on the zone, but they're going to have to pay him. They're going to have to pay him. They have to come out the pocket. And the OG, David McWater, the OG, he's a very damn good manager. Split team management. Shout out to split team management. Salute to you. I've said it before. I did not think Teo and Devin would not fight until 140. All right. That's seriously possible. But what would be the interest up there right away for them to fight? What would be the interest? You know what I'm saying? Unless it was for a belt or something. What would be the interest for them to fight at 140? If they fight a tune-up at 140 and the winner gets they will have to both face. Look, they will have to both face a different opponent, and the winner of both of those fight. If by then, it's going to be by then, the winner of Ramirez and Taylor. I wouldn't say Taylor's going to damn fight. I don't know. I can't put that together. Like the winner of that fight, between Haney and whoever and Teofimo Lopez. I don't know. I don't know how those belts are going to be delegated up there. How long is Taylor, if he does beat Ramirez, how long is Taylor going to maintain those belts as undisputed champion? That's if he wins. So therefore, if Haney and Lopez moves up, I seriously doubt they face each other at 140 right away. They're going to have to face another opponent. Then both of these guys win. Then potentially, okay, check it out. Boom, let's make the Teofimo Lopez Devin Haney fight. And then the winner might get undisputed. I seriously don't think it'll work out that way, but it will be great. It'll be good shit if it did work out that way. But fighting each other, no, I can't go off that. I don't appreciate that. I don't like it. But that's a solid point. They might just be fighting each other 140. Okay, so Dion has Povetkin for the 6th round KO tomorrow. I selected that number before. that Dion. But I think I'm gonna slide my prediction in for tomorrow. Povetkin in 5. I think he knocks out Dillian White earlier. In 5. Valdez told Max Kellerman he wants Shakur Stevenson. Hey, listen, I hope Oscar Valdez faces Shakur Stevenson too. I really do. I want that shit to happen. I really hope he faces Shakur Stevenson. Big dog. That would be a hell of a fight. But it seems like Oscar Valdez maybe, checking on somebody else or fighting some, that would be a hard fight against Miguel Burchelt. And then that would be another hard fight stepping in there with Shakur Stevenson. I mean, that would look good for Oscar Valdez as a champion. And also it'd give us an idea on how Shakur Stevenson will perform against the top level competition in this weight class, such as Oscar Valdez, who's coming off an immensely entertaining championship fight against Miguel Burchelt, who he knocks out in early fashion. Unbelievable. Maybe the third fight at 140. And 5 again. Hey, I'm going for M5 again, man. Because it's something about when you knock somebody out. Alexander Povetkin may be trying to do that shit in 4 or 5 rounds this time. Because the last time he was getting caught, he was in trouble. He need to wake up. I think Shakur Stevenson beats Valdez, in my opinion. What you think? See, a part of me look at Shakur Stevenson as being a more savvy boxer, just more savvy boxer. But then I look at Oscar Valdez, man. He's now 2 division champion. What was impressive about Oscar Valdez to me is that he improved from the time I seen him fight over in Frisco, Texas. He's improved tremendously. It's a 50-50 fight. I can't say who's going to win. I'm just calling it. I can't say who's going to win. I don't know, man. I can't put a name to the winner. I don't know. I got to put 5050 shouted with a slash down the middle. I don't know who's going to win. Oscar Valdez, he fought beautifully against Miguel Burchelt. I can't say it. I can't. I don't know, man. I can't tell you, Alex. I just don't know. There's no way that I can competently come up with an answer to that shit. I can't tell you. That shit would be great. I just want to see young fighters more active. Are you suggesting Haney is at a point in his career where he's above fighting lesser competition more frequently? Where Haney's trying to go is to build his resume up. Now, I understand what you're saying, lesser competition, if you're talking about fighting on the zone at a higher frequency rate. But is that truly the direction that Haney's trying to go? Haney isn't trying to fight mediocre opposition without trying to beautify his resume to somehow come in the good graces of Teofimo Lopez. He's not trying to go over here and fight no names, because the amount of criticism they give Terrence Crawford, do you imagine the amount of criticism they're going to continue to give Devin Haney? He has to get away from the Fredo Santiagos and the Zaur Abdullayevs. He has to get away from that. He has to get away from New Yorkers Gamboas. He needs something strong that'll stick, that puts out that good aura and just make you say, damn, that shit's euphoric. He need that type of resume. He don't need that, them onions been on the hot dog for 5 days already? Oh, shit. I wonder if I heat this motherfucking microwave, would it kill the bacteria and shit. It got some green shit on it, too. That's mold. No, we ain't trying to do that. We're not trying to do that. We're not trying to see Devin Haney on the zone fighting lesser tier competition in frequency. That would do nothing, absolutely nothing for his career. Period. What's going on, Trick? How you feeling? What's good? What's good? Dion say on behalf of World Combat Sports. Alexa say it's time for Haney to start fighting some real competition since he's champion right now. Absolutely, I agree, bro. I agree. Did y'all hear that Juan Francisco Estrada is now the super flyweight franchise champion? Were you all aware of that? Because I've been trying to get to, the Teofimo Lopez naysayers to stop whining about him being undisputed or not. That's a dead motherfucking topic. It's a dead topic. Shakur versus Valdez would be different style of a fight. It would be a boxer with power versus a power guy that can box. So you consider a boxer with power has to be Oscar Valdez and a power guy that can box. So Shakur Stevens is a power guy that can box. I don't know, man. I understand that Shakur Stevens has respectable power. I don't put it into the equation. He's a power guy. He can box his ass off now. But when he was in there with Coca Klein, whatever his last opponent, his opponent was touching him up a little bit, but he wasn't never fazed by anything Shakur Stevenson was doing. He was pretty content. He didn't feel afraid to be in there. You know what I'm saying? That close with Shakur Stevenson. Just got in here at the grocery store looking at women with kids so I can get their food stamp card. Listen, I know it's a little off topic. I just want to talk about something briefly. Why he mentioned women with food stamps, like in the ATL, right? It's this little shawty that was in front of me, and she had the motherfucking shit that you sign off on. I think it's Section 8, whatever. She had the damn shit, and they have to take their time and make sure that they sign on them correctly, and they have to give the cashier the item, the check, or whatever that they're approved for with the items. They have to check it, this, and this. So I'm looking at it. She has a mask on, has like a just an okay jacket, but she was fine as shit though. She was a little bit too young for me. And I just was up there saying a little small talk with her. I said, "Well, you had it, whatever." You know what I'm saying? You got a kid? She said, "No, I don't have a kid." Da da da. Of course, I said, "Okay, so what you getting all this baby formula for?" So we was just chopping it up about certain things that's going on in the city and shit. And she was a fine little shawty, man. She goes out to the car. I'm walking, and good that she left before me. She goes over there and get in an S550 Mercedes Benz. I was like, what the fuck is playing the system down here? She goes in here and get in a clean ass S5. She looking at me and probably had the biggest sheepish grin on her motherfucking face. To my, yeah, nigga, I'm playing the motherfucking system. I'm over there, goddamn, signing off on Section 8 vouchers, and motherfuckers riding in the S5. The shit that goes on in the ATL, I swear. Shakur is the boxer with some power. Okay. So you get Shakur with the boxer with some power. Okay, I got you. So let me read that again. So I can get some clarity. Taylor Ramirez winner gets nothing from fighting Teofimo Lopez. Maybe a solid check, but that's all on Top Rank fight. So probably not. They're going to get something. They're going to get a nice check because they're not getting any belts except Teofimo Lopez. He'll be moving up and they'll be defending. So let's see how bad they want to defend their titles. You know what I'm saying? At least Crawford fights presents an opportunity to be champ in another division. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I agree. And I really hope he does that. I really hope it does it. Can you imagine? Let me put together another scenario. Jermell Charlo petitions for the franchise belt after he defeats Brian Castano. Boom. He becomes undisputed, and that franchise belt releases the WBC. What about Terrence Crawford? Somehow, some way, is able to get a shot at that WBC title. We've seen Sergey Derevyanchenko get 2 shots at the IBF mandatory, failed, and went over to the WBC as the mandatory, failed. So it'd be good to see Crawford get the potential to move up there if that WBC is released and fight for the vacant, whoever that may be. It'll be good. Erickson Lubin, Terrence Crawford, that'll be a good fight. Isn't he ranked number 1 up there? Let me check. I think he's ranked number 1 up there, you know? Let me see. So Erickson Lubin. Yeah, Erickson Lubin is ranked number 1 up there at the WBC. And then you have Sergio Garcia, Tony Harrison. Really tough fights. That'll be good. I wouldn't mind seeing Tony Harrison and Terrence Crawford fight. You know what I'm saying? Erickson Lubin and Terrence Crawford fight. That would be great, man. That'd be solid. Solid hand, lace them up type shit. Let's go. That'd be solid. That's how they do it. That goes on here too. World Comeback. That's how they are, independent as they want to be. I know they milking the motherfucking Section 8 because I'm going to that mug and I'll say, damn, I'm trying to contemplate like shit. I know Shawty in her 20s and shit, but that Section 8, I'm not trying to pick up a little young Shawty with another young Shawty that's only like 3 years old. Nope, I'm not going back into parenthood. So when she got into that damn clean ass S5, I was like, sheesh, you playing the system real nice. She even parked her car damn near away from the motherfucking exit of the store. I said, I see the game. I'm looking at some of these big girls that need some yard work. They just got their $1,400 check. Kid say he looking at some of them big girls that need some yard work. Hey, I'll go do some yard work for some money. Yeah, but it's just about when you get to the end of the yard work, they want you to continue trimming inside. They say, hey, Mr. Ken, how you doing? Hey, you finished? Can you come on in? I made you some sweet tea. Yeah, I just took some of the best apple pie off the oven. Just take your shoes off. Relax. We're gonna turn this into a next flick. She started got that warming everything up. Shit, she said you did some yarn care outdoor. It's about time for you to do my care indoor. Shit, the big woman had you in there doing some shit. Yard work, paint, detail, their car type of work. Hey, I know you trying to detail that car. I understand. In professional terms, I get it. He's a gigolo. Oh, don't you know? Ken is a gigolo. Dion Washington tell Bud fight Tim Tszyu at 154 for the WBO. Tim Tszyu, if the WBO was coming vacant, cool. If the WBO was coming vacant, that'd be a good fight, no doubt. I like to see that. I like Tim Tszyu. I like to see that shit. Seriously, I like to see that. Yeah, Tim Tszyu, Liam Smith, and Jerry Hurd. If somehow Terrence Crawford can jump the line and get these fights, hell yeah. I'm gonna tell you, Tim Tszyu is gonna be a champion sometime soon. That guy's saying I won't be denied. So once this damn undisputed gets taken care of, I wonder if Charlo's gonna will attempt to defend him, or he will vacate him, let him go. That will free up a lot of championship belts in there and allow a lot of people to celebrate. Dion Washington, that we got. Let me see, Dion Washington, what we got going on here? Now you mean to tell me? Oh no, that's he acting like your pops. I don't know. It's- Kids say no, he got to keep his 6 feet. Shit. Okay, I see you. You gonna put it off on social distancing now. He said he got to keep his 6 feet from fornication. Well, you know what I'm saying? He's gonna keep his 6 feet to prevent or prohibit it any type of indoor fornication. I get it, man. I understand. That that's your intent when you walk through the door. But when that apple pie, them big women, they love to cook now, and they might have you some motherfucking, some motherfucking a slab of ribs coming out the stove on there. They put them damn sweet potato yams on there, put that cinnamon over the top, have that aroma coming up. You're gonna take an early lunch break, Shawty. Guarantee it. Early lunch break. Excuse me, you mind me pouring you mind me pouring you a little drink? She get you a tall glass and there ain't never dark shit in there. Come to find out it's a special ball of Hennessy. She's trying to get you fucked up for the night. It just keeps on turning into something nice. Deion say big girl will take you. Hey, big girls, you can't play with big girls like that, man. They would take care of you. Some all they need is just somebody to lay up and cuddle with. They need love too. Seriously. So J8, let me ask you this: is the fight free? Oh, okay, for sure. If you in there with your girl, for sure. I digress. We ain't trying to mess that up for sure. Is the fight for free there, J8? We talking about the that guy. What's that guy name? Alexander Povetkin. What's the other dude he facing? Cat. Let me see. What's his name? You talking about Dillian White? That's his name, right? You talking about am I covering Dillian White? Because I'm gonna be honest with you. I cover boxing and MMA. I'm gonna be honest with you. One of the big fights that's coming on tomorrow is Stipe Miocic and Francis Ngannou. The shit sold out. This is for the heavyweight championship of the world. This is for the rematch. This is for Stipe Miocic, who's considered one of the best heavyweight champions in the Ultimate Fighter Championship. He is going in there to attempt to defeat Francis Ngannou for a second time. The guy who they say has all the power. I'm gonna be honest with you. If you gave me the opportunity to say I'm gonna have two payments paid for PPV on the damn UFC side, and then if that motherfucking Alexander Povetkin and Dillian White is PPV too, I'm gonna tell you straight up, I'll probably be looking at the UFC. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, indeed. Okay, Jay. Then you know what it is. I'm looking. I'll definitely be covering that fight. Definitely be covering motherfucking Stipe and Francis. Definitely. And you know what? The fact still remains: is it free, Dion? Is that fight free or PPV? I need to know: is it free or PPV? Real talk, WCS. When I was younger and single, my saying was fair exchange is not robbery. Was fair exchange is not robbery. I'm just saying, man, you goddamn clean the yard. Sometimes they want you to do in-house maintenance. They said that's the way the milkman used to do it back in the day. He used to deliver that milk and act like he was walking in for the payment. But when he was the one that was cashing and signing the checks physically, while the husband was at work. Just dirty dog, just straight up dirty dog. I swear to you. I got the gun. His coach said they've been working wrestling, grappling. Yeah, I know. You was probably on Fred Barbershop. Yeah, I watched that whole live too. So I heard him talk about they've been working on, take down the fence, his hips, and his grappling. I even said that earlier today. I said that earlier today. I saw it on somewhere else, but yeah, he can work on takedowns. Like I said, that takes cardio, that takes energy. He can work on grappling. He can do whatever. But they was trying to work on him with an arm man choke. You have to be able to apply that. Stipe isn't a slouch on the ground. But just because you've worked on takedown defense doesn't mean you're gonna have to deal with takedown defense. And this is the unique metric of this shit right here in mixed martial arts, aka the Muddy Flats, right? Is the fact that his coach, Dewey Cooper, he can say that they work on takedown defense, but they're only going to be as strong in the first and second round according to the pace. Once you start to fatigue, let's just say you fatigue in the third, you go into the fourth, and Stipe shoot in on you, your takedown defense is not going to be as efficient as it should be if you was fresh out the gate. You're not going to have that amount of strength. So you might get taken down. And it'll be a bad thing to get taken in the fourth or fifth round, and you don't have any damn strength to fight the takedowns. So I'm pretty sure they have a pretty solid plan to come in here and face Stipe Miocic. It's a legacy fight. It's a rematch. Stipe Miocic weighs 29 pounds less. 29 pounds less than Francis Ngannou. So he came in to pretty much take the lighter side of the house and use his speed and attempt to break down Francis Ngannou in that facet. Francis looked like Luke Cage. Who you got WCS in the fight and why? I have Stipe Miocic. He has better boxing. He fought better opposition than Francis Ngannou. I believe the skill set that Stipe Miocic has been able to improve upon off his knockout loss to Daniel Cormier is bar none. His thought process to make adjustments and start digging to the body with that hook and staying consistent with it. I mean, he really putting enough mustard on it for it to have a good effect. And I like his killing. I like his kill radius. The way he keeps it close. Once he was able to get DC hurt, he moved in pretty efficiently and got the job done with the grounding pound. For Francis Ngannou, you have to understand his last fight was against Daniel Rosenstruck. All he did was rush the man like you was on a playground and swing punches, and before you know it, his back up against the cage, he get hit, boom, boom, fight is over. What were you supposed to improve in your skill set just by running up to a guy swinging? Nothing. So I think the rematch with Daniel Cormier and the trilogy really educated and taught Stipe Miocic some more levels to his championship 5-rounders, and it taught him a lot more about himself. Francis Ngannou, still, I think he's a bit stubborn when it comes to him sitting down on punches early. He's going to try to knock out Stipe. And then if he can't get the knockout, somehow, some way, if he goes in for the takedown and Stipe stuffs it, then that's wasted energy. How many pounds did they say Stipe Miocic wore? 234, right? How much did Francis Ngannou weigh? 263? 263. So you got to carry that weight around with you. And you may potentially, put on about 5 more pounds. So let's just say you sitting right below 270. You have to carry that weight around for 5 minutes, 5 minutes per round. Okay? That's not going to be easy. Francis looked like Luke Cage. De La Hoya announced, yeah, I knew somebody. I didn't even mention. I knew somebody was gonna bring up De La Hoya and Snoop Dogg having a conversation, and they had to be Boo Ross. Snoop Dogg having a conversation with De La Hoya. He said, "Man, I'm just saying, you maybe should just let them know. Just want to let everybody know, July 3rd, it's my comeback." And he drops the mic. I was like, next, God damn, I thought you was gonna mention the fight at lightweight that we all want to see. I agree. I got Stipe by decision. I believe it will be a repeat of the first fight. I think it'll be a repeat of the first fight as far as decision. Yes. I believe that it may somehow come to a point where I'm getting a feeling that Team Francis is going to try to work the low calf kick this time. They're going to try to slow down Stipe with calf kicks like Dustin Poirier did Conor McGregor. I'm telling you, fighters copy one another, people. They copy one another. So potentially they may, Team Francis, come in there and attempt to slow down Stipe. I'm doubting seriously from a fighter who has slow kicks. I doubt you're going to be able to land multiple kicks on Stipe. The place of contusion on the front of his shin, like Douglas Lima did to Rory McDonald. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to get that done. What's his name? Hasim Rothman, when he was in there with Holyfield, when he had that big ass hematoma on his head. You're not going to be able to do that with somebody's calf muscle unless you are full pledged to a leg kick attack. And that has to happen in the first 2 rounds to build it up. I don't think Francis Ngannou is built for that. So now they're talking about takedown defense in wrestling. Okay. If you plan on going in for a takedown with Francis, cool. He's not a slouch on the ground. Cool. Go ahead. Try it out. If you get tired and get stopped, you better go. You better go find your coach. Say, why? Why, coach? WCS, I can for one more time thank Canelo. Some of the casuals I know watched the Mike Tyson podcast and realized that Canelo does understand English and speak a little. Man, I told people Canelo Alvarez is one of the smartest dudes out here. Canelo knows English. You heard what he told those guys in the ring? They get the fuck out the ring. Get the fuck out of here. Canelo's been around, man. He knows English. Come on, man. That's just like Anderson Silva. For a long time, I was telling people, Anderson Silva only speaks Portuguese to his people. He's on purpose. It's not like he can't speak English. He can. He speaks English. They kept acting like that man can't speak English. Yes, he does. He can speak English. No doubt about it. De La Hoya versus Spence coming strap season. Stop it. Stop it. I'm about to put you on timeout for some shit like that. Goddamn. De La Hoya bring his old ass up here to fight Spence. Man, that was one of the most non-personality having dudes that I've ever seen in boxing. That can actually fight. Virgil Ortiz has solid power, bro. That's what I can say about Virgil Ortiz. He has solid punching power, the type of punching power that can break you down over time. I don't see him having knockout power, like the one punch knockout power. I see him having power with his punches, putting punches together to sting, to hurt, to break you down that way. But that doesn't mean if the punch doesn't land correct, if the punch doesn't land in the right location, he won't knock somebody out. I truly believe he has that power to knock somebody out, but he's not just a one quarter hitter type of deal. It feels great to win an argument against 10 casuals. You must was over there on free smoke, dog. You must have went over there on free smoke. What do you talk about? What panel you was talking about there, Sir Ken? Did you see the Ben Askren versus J Card? Yeah, I saw all the entire presser. I saw the entire presser. I was on the Zoom call. With them. They didn't answer my question though. I hope I get the De La Hoya call. I'll get the De La Hoya out of there for the hood. Solid power. Yeah. Virgil Ortiz has solid power, but you know the amount of fight that he wore in the Maurice Hooker clash, I think he needs to just hold off a little bit before facing Terrence Crawford. That's all. Face some other top competitions and then you be good. Okay, no, just around the guys at the car wash. Cool. Yeah, that's all I'm thinking about. That's all I'm thinking about. Yes, sir. Thinking about that. Let's see. But I will be on here covering the UFC card. If I somehow choose to find a fire stick laying around outside, under the brush, the pine brush, down the hill, beneath the rock, and it works, I'll definitely try to see if I can get the Dillian White and Alexander Povetkin fight. That's about it. I need a miracle. For that fight. I want somebody just to tell me, okay, what was the results? What's the results? Oh, Dillian knocked out in 4 or 5 rounds. Okay, cool. Thank you. I appreciate you. Real talk. I'm gonna leave y'all with that. But hey, I gotta bounce and get up out of here. Salute to each and every one that support the channel. If you choose to donate, the Cash App has been up in there. You know what I'm saying? The Cash App has been up in there for those of you that choose to donate and support the channel. I was supposed to have been attending the fight card today. I mean, this weekend, but I'm not. I'm not going to attend it. I'm not going to step up there to extend it this time for my own reasons, because I have something else coming up. But I want to appreciate everyone for pulling up on this Friday. And I will definitely be on tomorrow and want to send the invitation for you all to pull back up at WCS, support the fight night, you know what I'm saying, of UFC. And if I choose to somehow find a miracle to watch, you know what I'm saying, Dillian White and Alexander Povetkin, I will. I might cover it. It's pretty decent. I want to do it for the supporters and interact with you, those who tune in to WCS. That's all. So once again, turn up. Tune in to World Combat Sports.